Jay is the CEO of Interactive Solutions, which is a Memphis-based company that specializes in cutting-edge audiovisual and video conferencing solutions to corporate, education, government, and healthcare markets. Jay started the company back in 1996, and in the past 14 years, it's built it to a $14 million company. He's been named to, the company's been named to the Inc. 500 list in 2001, 2003. Has been on the Business Tennessee's Fast 50 list, and he's received many other awards and recognition for his business. But what made the whole story very compelling to me was the adversity that he is overcome to make this happen. And the perseverance he's had in pursuing this and making this business a reality. It's quite an amazing story. In many ways, for me, it's his journey that's the most compelling part of the story, rather than kind of where he's gotten his business to at this point in time. And that's what he talks about in his book, Keep Swinging, which all of you have gotten a copy. If you didn't, we have a copy for you. The center has made sure that anybody who comes to this event that would like a copy, we have copies of this book, so they're available in front. Those of you seeking Convo credit, Sarah will be doing Convo credit at probably about 6 o'clock. So as this wraps up, see her and she'll scan it. She'll be back. So it is my pleasure to welcome Jay here to Belmont, and appreciate you coming and sharing your story. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cornwell. Appreciate it. Thank you. You guys hear me okay? Sound good? All right, good. I'm usually so loud, my wife will tell you that all the time. She's sitting here in the front row, so I can say that without reservation. Folks, let me ask you a question. You know, when you look at owning your own business today, I guess my first question is, for people that are in entrepreneurship, why in the world would you even think about doing that in 2010? You people go to Belmont University. You're bright people, right? Have you read the paper? Do you see what's going on today? People read the paper around here? Raise your hand if you read the paper, online or otherwise. Do you know what's going on? Do you realize how bad it is out there? Why would you possibly want to think about owning your own business today? I could give you a lot of reasons. I'm going to tell you some stories this evening that I think are going to be of interest to you. But I think one of the things that I do it for is for the freedom of being able to speak at Belmont University and other schools the last several months and years to tell my story. But let me suggest to you, as I go through my journey, some of the things that you need to consider. And I think the number one thing to consider is that your ability to overcome adversity, your perseverance will tell you if you can make it as a business, because the statistics are not very good for startup businesses, are they? Most of them fail for a host of reasons. Smart people get into them and do all kinds of things, right? But here's the thing, folks. Your ability to overcome adversity will be able to tell you what your chances are going forward, okay? So let's talk about my story. But anyway, so I look on page 42 and I see this article called A Thief Within. And it's about this firm outside of Chicago, these brothers that owned a business where the accounting manager stole from them $200,000, over $200,000, through forgery, credit card transactions, all those kind of things. Remember the next day, so it was April 29th of 2003, going into my office, and I had a real restless night thinking about this article. And I kept trying to think about what it was that was bugging me, and I was thinking about the fact that, wonder how this could happen in my business at ISI. About the middle of the morning there, and I've just had that thing buzzing in my head, to this day, I think it was divine intervention. I know it's a little bit deep here on a Tuesday night here or whatever, but I'm telling you, seriously, there's no reason for me to have had, at that moment in time, that magazine, that thought, that moment, right then, I said, I think I got it. I know how it could happen here, the payroll records. John dies, I haven't looked at those payroll records in several months. Not really. I was sleepwalking, folks. I was sleepwalking. All on me. Look at the payroll records. After I'd asked the receptionist to bring them over, hands them to me, I start flipping over there and I go, wow. Accounting manager who was out of the office, sick, she had broken her ankle or whatever, had bonuses next to her name. Then I look over there a couple other pages and I see the receptionist. she had commissions next to her name, and I'm going like, commission for the receptionist? Really? You answer the phone. you don't sell anything. Commission go to salespeople, like Kyle. So I'm flabbergasted. I don't really know what to do. I called the payroll company. I said, who authorized these bonuses and commissions? They said, well, the accounting manager did. I go, okay. Did you realize that she had a boss? They go, who's that? And I said, you're talking to him. I thought this lady was going to have a heart attack on the phone. I still think about it, and in fact, I saw her supervisor the other day. They still talk about me. But it was an unbelievable day, folks. It was, and it was only going to get worse. The thing that's interesting about the experience there was what happened really next. As we added up the commissions and bonuses, it was about $40,000. But the other part that was interesting was when we brought in the certified fraud examiner, because guess what he did? He found another $210,000 that were forged checks that looked like the accounting manager was paying vendors, all of our various technology vendors. Most of the checks a little under $5,000, about 40 or 50 checks. In reality, they were going to her. And the way she was disguising it was that she was basically taking the image checks and destroying them when they came through in the bank statement. And so when I looked at the computer, because I'm a nut about money, ask my account manager here, Kyle, I'm a nut about that. I always look at every money transaction. And what I saw on the computer was legitimate vendors, 4,000, this, 5,100, whatever the number was. And when I got the bank statement, I saw deductions, but I thought they were going to the vendors. And again, what was happening was it was going to her. So folks, it was unbelievable. If you stop and do the math or the calendar here, so in 10 months, from June of 2002 to April of 2003, I lose my mentor, my older brother, out of nowhere, and almost my business in 10 months. I thought at that point in time, I was truly staring at the abyss. I thought, this is as low as I've ever been in my entire life. How could somebody do this to another human being in their lowest point? But folks, those people are out there. And it's interesting was that at that moment in time, a decision had to be made about what we were going to do about it. And I remember just it seemed like it happened in just quickly in a moment, looking in the mirror and saying, you know, am I going to do what the other small businesses do, which is basically just to sweep it under the rug, file for the insurance, get the fidelity bond or whatever, you got dishonest employee insurance, and you know, just chalk it up to a bad experience and fire, and that's it. And you know what? Something in me was like, you know, I think at that point in time, it just became so much clarity about everything. I was thinking to myself, how were you raised? You were raised with honesty, integrity, and ethics. Better Business Bureau. You know exactly what to do right now. What you have to do is you have to prosecute her. And you have to get her off the street so she doesn't hurt anybody else. So we get a hold of the Secret Service at that point. You say, whoa, how did that happen? How did you go from the certified fraud guy to all of a sudden, what? Here's a quick story. I see this guy in church Sunday after the theft. I'm looking over there and seeing that, you know, he's a Eucharistic minister and I'm trying to, you know, stay focused on Mass, but I'm not doing a good job. I race up there at the end of Mass and I say, Rick Harlow, Rick, I got this horrible thing that happened, and don't you work for the Treasury or something like that? I think maybe you can help me. Well, first he told me to calm down, and the next thing he said was, actually, I work for the Secret Service. It used to be part of the Treasury. But he said, your problem, I can help you with. So he has an agent come over on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, this guy, Patrick Davis. I mean, this is great, right? It should be a movie. We're looking at the screen right. So here comes this guy in my office. We're a technology company. All of a sudden, we become a movie set. Here comes in this Patrick Davis. He's about 6'2", weighs about 200 pounds, and he has got the biggest gun on him. And I'm like, oh, this is for real. That really is a Secret Service. And you know what, folks? I thought, man, it's time for the good guys to do something now and everything and get after this. So we did prosecute. We prosecuted for all the right reasons, to get this lady off the street so she couldn't do it to somebody else. Okay, here's the other thing though, folks. Can you imagine if the word gets out, your employees, $257,000 theft, are we going out of business? Here's a great suggestion my wife, Maureen,